Welcome back to Dow Twang. I'm Dave. So we're going to keep going with this A Mixolydian thing. This won't be a long one today because I got some arpeggio ideas that I want to show you. I got to turn on my other little screen here real quick because that's where I've got the diagram. Later on, I'll embed it in here for you. I'll have it up here pretty much the whole time today. Um, we're using this one chord, A7 groove on this backing track. And it's something like. Okay. Use the backing track, make your own loop. I know some of you have told me you have devices now where you can, like, get the loops from different sources or off of YouTube and like slow them down and it'll pitch correct and everything. It's brilliant. It's great. And while you're at it, if you want to really have some fun, record yourself or make a video of yourself jamming over some of these loops, post it on our new Twanger Open Mic Facebook group, which you can, I guess I'll put a link. There's a link in the community section. I'll put a link up in the description today. Check that out. Just sign up, put in a request. We'll approve you right away. And post that stuff, man. Let's have some fun. So I'm going to put this diagram up here now, and we're using a Mixolydian scale to jam over this with, okay? And on this diagram here, all the notes of the scale in this position are on there, okay? So that's all in this 9th to 12th fret region. So the two red dots are the root A, okay? All the blue dots are other chord tones going up to the flat 7. So the 3rd, the 5th, the flat 7, okay? And then the green ones are anything that's not included as a root or one of those chord tones, okay? So, those are notes that we want to be using, but we want to pay specific attention to the ones in blue and the roots today, okay? And we're just going to have a real quick routine here. In that intro that you just saw, there was a little bit more going on, and, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a deeper dive on this on Patreon. It'll be our first video on Patreon. Okay, with this, so many of you said, "Man, you got to get on Patreon," and maybe folks will kick you, a few bucks each month or whatever. I'm like, okay, it's not going to affect the YouTube channel too much. There might not be quite as many videos posted on YouTube, but it's not going to be. You're not going to miss anything, really, right? But you might gain something, and it would certainly help us out, and we'd appreciate it. So let's get right into this. Now, let's take those blue and red notes there. Okay. And, that's something that you may or may not feel like, want to spend a lot of time really kind of getting that under your fingers, whatever, but be able to just kind of, go through there using the diagram, right? Help your ear get acclimated to that, right? As well as just warming up a little bit on the Mixolydian scale. So here's what that might look like if I were warming up myself on it. Put this backing track on, and I just kind of move about. I might put some bends in there. I'll show you a little bit about that here in just a second. I those tones sound good when they land, on certain beats and stuff. You don't have to be real scientific about that, but go slow, right? Don't just run around the scale. Let your ear pull you into that groove and put those notes and pause and hang out at times that it really feels good. Now, I'll go with more of an arpeggio approach to it. Okay. So just kind of up and down there a little bit at first, right? Through that diagram, the chord tones, including the roots. And then, you know, a little bit of, kind of just bending, right? Still playing the notes in that scale. See, that's just a little bit of, you know, improvising, along with the arpeggio stuff using the scale. Now, I want to show you, this is kind of the meat and potatoes of this one, something that you can really practice. And I just wanted to prime you, though, with kind of a musical, way of practicing it and working with the track or off, you know, to the side. It doesn't have to just be an exercise, but let's map this out as root, third, fifth, flat, seven, and then make kind of a routine or a pattern to practice these that can also be used as licks. So the first one will be root, root, third, fifth, flat, seven, in order. Okay. And, you get that going. That's kind of a 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, ba da 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 da. Right. You put the track on, it'll kind of reinform, whatever cadence you use. But that's just kind of okay. Then, starting on the third. Okay, so it's the same routine, right? Root. And you guessed it. All right, whatever rhythm you want to do it with, right? And but repeat them. Repeat each one of them, and then the flat seven. Okay, so I didn't go through naming every chord tone of each one of them, right? But it's the same ones, just starting on different places. That gives you a really good basic kind of muscle memory of, like, how to really play over a flat seven chord like that, right? And in this case, it's a one chord jam. So, you just take that, put some of the scale tones in there with it, maybe put a little pentatonic lick, a little bluesy lick in here and there, like I did in that intro. I did some other chromatic things and stuff in there too, that you don't have to worry about right now. But this will if you're always playing a chord tone, you can't go wrong melodically, but also you'll be landing. Every time you get to a beat that needs a note to be kind of accented like that, it'll be one of them, right? So there's no real magic there. It's just something that a basic skill that you really want to practice and spend time on. Okay. Also, if you're ambitious, you could move some of them to other locations. Right. The one of the reasons it's just good neck knowledge, but it's also nice because you get a different feel. Like I like to be able to pull off. Like this one kind of bugged me when I was doing this earlier. I was going. I wanted to go because I can hammer and pull that middle one off, and it just feels I don't know right, and it kind of fits in with more of my patterns that I'm used to with my pentatonics and things or whatever. So you have your own system, right? Whether you've really kind of assessed it or not, you have one, um, and always retrofit the stuff that we're talking about. Um, into the things that make sense for you and the thing, that the way that the choices that you make about the hammers and pull-offs and the locations of things really are things that define your sound, right? And that's really important. And there's always a bunch of options, right? So mess around with that if you want. Um, Let me know how this goes, okay? Leave me some comments. Um, these other new social media things, the Facebook page. There's a Tao of Twang Facebook page. Then there's the Twangers Open Mic. That's the one that we're hoping is going to be a lot of fun for everybody because we wanted to create a space where you get to play. Right? You're always listening to me play and putting up with me, and I really appreciate that. But we want to hear what you're doing too. And then, if you want, jump over to the Patreon. Like I said, there won't be a whole lot on there at first, but we'll just be building that week by week. Everything that's been on the channel will still be here, and you can just check out what's going on over there and become a supporter if you feel like this is something that you really benefit from and it would really help us out. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.